my potpourri of a homily here. First thought was, after hearing from Ezekiel, a reminder that following the will of God doesn't mean that we're not going to suffer. Doesn't mean that everything is going to be a smooth ride for us. Ezekiel becomes a visual image for the people of Israel. And he loses his wife. And he suffers greatly. And he doesn't say, what did I do to deserve this? And this is something so often happens with us. In our suffering, in our trials, in our problems, we say, what did I do to deserve this? As if it were some sort of a punishment from God. But rather, bad things happen in our lives, and sometimes things cut us to the quick in order to help us to grow in holiness. Following God means that He is our rock, He is our stronghold in the midst of all the trials. It doesn't mean we won't have trials. And then what is this image for? He's saying the sanctuary, the temple, the light of their eyes is going to be destroyed. Why? Because of their sin. Not just any sin, but specifically their idolatry, where they have given themselves over to so many of the other gods and things other than God as their most important ground of being. He says, you will rot in your sins because they have forgotten the God who gave them birth. They've forgotten God. They put so many other things before God. And so we are called also to say, what are these things in our lives that we need to get rid of? The things that stand in our way with our relationship with God. The next bit of potpourri, looking at the gospel today. If you wish to enter life, keep the commandments. Which ones? There are 200 and something laws in the Torah. Which ones do we have to keep, this young man says. Good question. You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. Honor your father and your mother. And you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Now, on the surface level of each of these commandments, I can say pretty well, I haven't done this. I've never killed anyone, not committed adultery. I may have stolen in my earlier years a little thing here or there, but, I've gotten better, taking things from my sister or whatever. I don't do that anymore. Not that I live with my sister to take anything from her anyways. Or bearing false witness. I've never been to court, so I've never borne false witness. I do my best to honor my father and my mother. All these things I do pretty well on the surface level. Except love your neighbor as yourself. That's where it's like, ugh. Okay, this is where I need to really work in terms of reaching out in selfless love to others. What are the things in our lives where we need to turn our lives more fully over to the Lord? And then finally, I've done all these things. What do I still lack? If you wish to be perfect, go sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me. Now, most of us won't be able to go and sell everything we have and give it to the poor because of our state in life, our vocations, we have families or other things that we have to take care of. So that's not part of what is required of us. It was required of this young man to be perfect. But it may look at like, what am I attached to? How can I help the poor? Do I have too much stuff in my life? Maybe I have a favorite shirt that I could maybe give to the poor. What does this look like? And then come, follow me. This is what it's about. Is coming into that relationship with Jesus and following Him. Will we go away sad like the young man who heard this statement, for he had many possessions, you look and you see, what is it that he was unwilling to give? It might be something that we ask the Lord today. What do you need me to get rid of? What do you need me to change in my life that's breaking my relationship with you, that's hurting my relationship with you? One mother of many children prayed this prayer at the suggestion of her pastor in his homily, and the Lord said to her in more or less words, "Stop doing laundry on Sunday." Okay, so she was like, okay, so she had a big family, so that was a major commitment. So she started doing laundry on like Tuesday and Thursday, so that she wouldn't do laundry on Sunday. And from that small act of obedience, she then started down a path of great holiness in her life. Do we ask God, what is it that you need of me? What are you asking me to give up, to surrender, to turn over to you? Some maybe small act of obedience is what he's asking of us, to follow him. May we not turn away from Jesus sad, but rather recognize he is the Lord, the one who is life itself, and that we come and find our joy, our happiness, our peace in him by surrendering all to him.